Hello and welcome. I'm Master Lama Rasaji, and this is our Thursday edition of Rasaji Speaks. Don't forget, today on PFL, we're going to have Brother Nate and several people that have come in to have training to share with you the benefit of what it's done to their energy, how it's giving them confidence and more teaching, and we'll be able to talk with them this week on our show today with the hostess with the mostest, Sister Lynette. Today's title is Lord, You Gave Me a Mountain to Climb. You gave me a mountain to climb, right? Sometimes in life we wonder what our choices and how they're going to end up. Everything that we choose and when we choose them, of course, has consequences and has significance. Whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whether it's happiness, of what we look to for the teachings of Tai Chi Gong. It's been a blessing for me, I know, in over 55 years of training and quickly approaching 42 years of instructing to understand the power of the choices. Recently, I spent time in the hospital with members of my family. One thing is very evident. You don't go to a hospital if you're planning on resting. Every 2 hours, they're either coming in to take blood pressure, vital signs, stick you with something, poke you with this and that, and then they turn around and tell you it's health care. It's not my idea of health care. It becomes more evident every day that whatever mountain that God has put in front of you, He knows that you can climb it. He knows that you have the strength to carry it on. As you see behind me, the tomb of part of the tomb of King Solomon. What you don't see in the tomb was at one time the Ark of the Covenant was here in this tomb. That's right. The Ten Commandments were there. According to the Lamasery, it's pretty much in North Africa. We believe that maybe, just maybe, the relationship between America and Syria has greatly changed in the last several months. And who knows, maybe part of the reason that that has is that maybe the government has insight on where that covenant is, that ark is, according to the Lamasery in Tibet. It's really interesting to see how all of this will play out. I would love to have the Ark one day at the Lamasery here in America. Wouldn't that be something? That'd be really something, yeah. Maybe the Grail Chalice too. We know where the Grail Chalice is. We know where the robe is that Jesus's body was wrapped in after coming down from the cross. How about that? It's pretty powerful. Decisions and intentions are very important. They really determine the difference between karma and Kriya Yoga. Sometimes the clarity in the beginning and the discernment is hard to fathom. But that's why we do our column exercises, especially in this yin cycle that is greatly approaching us today. We have an amazing team here at the Circle of Chi, a lot of talent. Sometimes getting along is harder than it seems to be. It doesn't have to be, but sometimes it seems like it is. A lot of times ego can get into the way because everybody wants to be heard and everybody wants to have their way from time to time. This stems all the way back to childhood, very early childhood, as we come out of infancy and we become this new child. way before puberty. Sometimes we'll stomp our foot, grin, show an angry face to mom or dad, and dadgummit, I want that. A lot of us never knew that we probably never released all of that. It shows up in adulthood in many ways. Some people sometimes have a hard time playing in the sandbox. Sometimes people have a hard time even getting in the sandbox. We don't go to social media sometimes just to spread social information. Sometimes we go to social media to hide social media. It's a lot harder to have a one-on-one with somebody, even though it's more impactful. One of the things you'll find out when you hear from people today, like Matt Willis and Sab Sanji and maybe Don Delegario, and you hear from like Brian Early, you'll hear something. It's interesting, right? They can tell the ego gets sucked out like the moment you kind of walk in the center because the vibration is so powerful. You know what? Nothing really powerful happens until we're really to take charge of our ego, or at least kind of lay it aside for a higher cause. Has nothing to do with territorial. Has nothing to do with identity, because you're bigger than territorial and you're way more evolved than identity. But we have a tendency sometimes to be territorial and fight for our identity because of the survival of the fittest. We have to let go and let God take over our lives and do things with passion. Fuses says, do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Bhoganathar said, I could never step my foot in the same body of water twice. I do not know always what is constant, but will always be constant in this domain is forever change. And living that change is called the living Tao. And it is the essence of Tai Chi Gong. Join us this afternoon, and you will hear things that will blow your mind. And then maybe you too will decide to come to the Wellness Center soon. Hope to see you there soon. Lama G teaches from time to time there. Love to give you a hug and watch you go through an amazing transformation like I've seen these other people going through that you will hear from today. Don't miss it. 1 o'clock Eastern. God bless. And as we say in Tibet, as we say in India, Baraka Bushai. May the blessings be to you and to your glorious family. See you tomorrow on the Shangri-La edition of Rasaji Speaks. God bless you.